Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Expat Conversations with your host, Michael Nolen. I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the program. First of all, I want to say thank you very much to the University of Guadalajara Institute of Investigation, Innovation, and Governance, which is headed up by former General Rector of the University, Dr. Marco Antonio Cortez Gradado. He is the gentleman that has allowed us to put on this show and try and educate the expat and general public about what's going on here in the Lake Chapala area. I also want to say a very, very special thank you to the Hotel Villa Monte Carlo. They allow us to have the shows filmed here, and I want to say thank you very much. They're so generous with their time. If you're not familiar with the Hotel Villa Monte Carlo, it's on the west end of Chapala. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. They've got an unbelievable nice restaurant. They have, in the rooms, they have hot thermal bath water. They also have like a spa, pickleball courts, 2 beautiful pools. So if you're coming down for a couple weeks and trying to get yourself anchored into the area and need a hotel to stay at for a while, it's very, very centrally located, and so you can go ahead and stay here. If you're a group and organization, need someone, they have large rooms to have events, and like I said, they're just very, very generous, and it's in a beautiful, beautiful location right on the lake, and plenty of ample parking. So be sure, if you have an opportunity, that a need, to come down and stay at the Villa Monte Carlo Hotel here in Chapala. Today I've got a very interesting lady friend that I met in Puerto Vallarta, about 6-7 years ago.
Maybe more than that, but yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It sure does.
Catherine
Beeghly.
Beeghly.
Yeah.
And it's Catherine with the C.
Thank you.
Catherine?
Mm-hmm.
And we met, I don't know how we originally met, but it was probably through a charitable organization at one of the playhouses, and one of the theaters, and one of the, it could have been at Encanto with Tracy Parks.
Uh-huh.
You know, no telling, but we met 6-7 years ago and just kind of hit it off and had a lot of fun and talked, and we got to, she educated me about a lot of cool events that were going on, because she was involved in a lot of stuff in the Puerto Vallarta area, and helped me with my radio show quite a bit. So I do say thank you very much for that, and I appreciate having you on. And
my pleasure,
and
Michael.
all of a sudden, we both ended up over here in the Lake Chapala area.
I love it. Yes,
and
we did.
Me 4 years ago, due to my wife's employment at the university, and Catherine, because, well, I'm gonna let you tell that story.
Okay.
She's I'll tell you what, she was really involved in a lot of things over in Puerto Vallarta, and we had a lot of fun. And I'm gonna, if you would, please give a short bio of yourself. I know you're from California. Correct. I don't know if that's original, but I know you lived there for a long time.
Yes.
And I actually met some of your friends who were in the movie industry and this, that, and the other. And were you from Chino or Chico? Or
you got it. It's Chico, which
Chico.
often gets confused.
Chino
with
and Chico are to both
California.
cities,
right,
in California. And I remember you were there, and you brought a couple of your friends down one time that were involved in the movie industry, and I got to meet them. And so, if you don't mind, Catherine, give a little of your background. Kind of talk about the different things you're involved in Puerto Vallarta, and then tell us about your latest episode of life, the new chapter where you decided to move from there over to the Lake Chapala area. So
sure,
I'll try and be quiet for a minute, which is really hard to do, but I'll get my mouth and let you. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, I am originally from California and lived there almost all of my life until moving to Puerto Vallarta about 10 years ago. And then it was just sort of time for a change. I enjoyed being active in the theater scene, at the boutique theater, and other different activities. You know, the area grew, the prices went up, and I got older, and it just was too hot and humid for a lot of the year.
June, July, August, September.
So I started researching places I might want to move, and I learned a lot about the lakeside Chapala area and Ajijic. I was impressed that it had the largest English language library in all of Mexico, and that there were TED Talks and activities at the Lake Chapala Society where you could really get together with people and learn and grow. And I saw a lot of opportunity there because, you know, I love learning and arts and all those things. And 3 English language theaters here. I saw Tartuffe last night at the Lakeside
really?
Little Theater. Wow, so impressive.
Very, very.
Yeah.
There's a large pool of very, very talented
Oh, my
actors and
gosh.
actresses here in
Yeah.
this town.
And I've been impressed with strong infrastructures with these local theaters. These people are not flaky. Wouldn't it be fun to put on a play? You know, they're
very well
folks know what
organized.
they're doing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're planned way ahead, too.
I've noticed that.
And there's auditions
Yeah.
all the time, and people are notified of that. And I'm sure I'll see you on stage here before long.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
One of the places.
Thanks. So yes, while in Vallarta, I also just picked up a little part-time and full-time work here and there in real estate and property management. I'm not an agent. I don't want to be. I leave that to the smart people, the numbers people. But I'm happy to still be working in that field. I kind of Googled and did a search and found Ahihi Homes for Rent.
And
And
ahihihomesforrent.com.
right. Yes, with
That's
the
your
number
website.
with the number 4, ahihihomesforrent.com. Yes, with the 4. And the owner, who's now my boss, Kira Beeghly, she was looking for someone to help out in the office as she grew and as her daughter entered medical school at the University of Guadalajara. So she kind of needed me, and it's provided a wonderful place for me to help people who are moving here, considering relocating to this area. And just a great way for me to meet people as the workers come in, you know, to get paid and deal with different things. People come in to pay their rent. They go, hey, aren't you that lady with that little dog? Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Well,
So,
when you moved over here, I was
enjoyed it.
surprised to find where you moved to. You found a really, really cool little pad right on the plaza in Ahihi,
Yes.
up on the 2nd floor, overlooking everything.
Yes.
And there's always something happening there. If it's going to be
Yes.
happening, it's going to be there or the Lake Chapala Society.
Right.
And that's really, really cool. And
Thank you.
and
I love
she was so
this.
kind to invite me over on one of my most favorite days of the year, St. Patrick's Day.
That's
She invited
right.
my lovely wife and I over to her home, and we had one really, really fun evening. So thank you very much for that.
I'm so happy you made it. You are welcome.
Oh, but
We'll do it again.
you came over here about, what, 6 months ago? Maybe?
The beginning of January, so not quite
Okay,
that
not
long.
even that long.
Yeah.
4.5. And
Yeah.
you found employment right away.
Yeah.
And she actually found employment before she came.
Right.
And we had lunch or dinner over at Tango's one night right
Yes.
before.
Uh-huh.
And she started working. And then, so she's helping a lot of people find rentals. Now, y'all don't sell houses. You do more of the rental, right?
Right.
So, and it can be short term or long term. Why don't you go over the parameters of how your rental company is working and what you do to help people,
Okay, sure. Yeah.
if you don't mind.
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Since I have my trabajo permiso, my legal permission to work in this country, I was able to join the team at Ahihi Homes for Rent. It's a Mexican family, woman-owned business, been serving the community for about 20 years at
Wow.
least, on the Carretera too, so we're really easy to come by and visit if you just want to shoot us some questions. And yes, in addition to helping people find places to rent, generally long term, although we can do a month, maybe less, but generally 6 months to a year. And also people come to this area, they want to try different areas before they buy something. So
I think
that's
it's very smart.
yeah, that's recommended. Maybe rent a place in West Ahihi and then try the east side for a little while. And, you know, kind of decide, do you want a gated community? Do you want to be in the kind of the heart of things like I am, or do you need a little more quiet and privacy?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, if people get to the point where they go, wow, I love it here. Yes, I want to have a permanent home. Kira Beeghly, the owner, is a real estate agent also. So
Right.
she would be the one who can help you in Spanish or in English. She lived in California for a while too, although she is a native.
Well, so many expats come down here and they get confused on deposits.
Yeah.
Some people that are owner of the home want you to put a 1 month or 2 month deposit, and then if you move, like you say, from place to place, do you get the deposit back? Sometimes they get confused, and then how is maintenance done.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like living anywhere else. There's a lot that goes on, so you need to be really careful. But someone like Catherine can guide you through that. You're doing it once or twice. She does it every single day, so she knows all the shortcuts. She knows all the legal aspects. She knows, do you need a lawyer? Do you need a notario? Is it going to be a short term, long term? How much deposit? Some owner might say, I want 6 months deposit. Well, she knows that's not common or it isn't right, and she can help you and guide you through that. So it's very, very important that you contact her. Can you one more time give out your email address and a phone number so people can contact you?
Sure.
And then we'll talk about all the little amenities inside.
Okay, yeah. It is Ahihic Homes for Rent with the number 4, ahihichomesforrent.com. And I can be reached at the email rentals@ahihichomesforrent.com. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay.
One thing I've really
Here's
enjoyed.
a number. Did you
sure,
want my
here's the phone number.
I'm going to read it off my card here. We are area code 333-949-8972. A WhatsApp is better than a phone call for me. Often I can't pick up the phone. It's loud. The mariachi goes band. I got the chihuahua wrapped around my ankles. So yeah, I do prefer messages, but I will do my best to pick up if you have a question.
Well, coming down here as a snowbird or coming down here to find somewhere to make sure you want to live down here is very, very important that you cross all the T's and dot all the I's. Mm-hmm. And someone like yourself can help. You can also help in someone might be able to call you and say, hey, I found a place, but they're wanting 20,000 pesos a month. And I was thinking I should be paying more around 10,000 pesos a month. I know everything fluctuates and things are going up. You can also help them saying, well, that sounds kind of excessive for what you're wanting to rent. A 1-bedroom, 1-bath shouldn't be rented for, $2,000 American per month or $1,250 Canadian, whatever. So you can help in that aspect. And then you can also help with locations. Mm-hmm. You kind of know what is what and where's where. Mm-hmm. And so what are other things I'm not talking about that you run into on a daily basis that you help people with that our listening audience might want to know before they get into trouble?
Yeah.
Notarios, lawyers, how to hook up your utilities.
Yes.
This, that, and the other.
Yeah. I would just add to what you said. Yeah, it can be a little scary. It can be a little daunting to be here. Maybe Spanish is a language you're not comfortable in yet. You know the laws are different, but you're not sure how. What are you getting into? The peso, the banking.
Going up and down.
Yeah. And I've lived in a few different areas in Mexico. So yeah, I can help you with confidence and get all your questions answered, get you all straightened out. Another thing we do is we represent property owners. Okay. Some people have come here, they rent for a while. Yeah, this is cool. They see a great deal on the perfect house for them. They buy it. And then they want to travel more. They want to go back to wherever they're from if they're snowbirds and be with their kids, their grandkids, whatever it is. We can manage and help maintain their properties while they're gone.
Property management.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. So some people say, no, we don't want people living here while we're gone. And others say, no, this is a nice opportunity to be making some extra income from a property that we own while we're off doing other things in other places. So we can
we're doing this interview April 12th, 2024.
Yes, we are.
And you've been here 4 months, but you were in Puerto Vallarta for a long time and you worked kind of in the same industry. What have you seen rental rates and pricing do? I'm sure it's going up and the dollar's going down, the Canadian dollar's going down. I think when you moved here, it's around 19 and a half. Now it's 16.40.
Yes. So
it was just an example. I put 500 pesos worth of gas in my car the other day. And it used to be 500 pesos, it was about $22. Well, now it's $30.
Oh, yeah.
On my credit card account. I do it on that. But so from going from, the height, I think it was at the pandemic, it was like $24.90 the dollar, because that's when I bought my house. I got really lucky.
Oh, good.
But now it's $16.40, and some people, unfortunately, come down here and they kind of boggles their mind,
Yeah.
and they don't know. Well, am I going to pay in dollars? Am I going to pay in pesos? You can kind of help them out and recommend that. And what do you see is, do most owners want pesos or do they want dollars? Or is it a six of one, a half dozen of another?
It is 6 and yeah. It will just vary by the property owner. Yes, and we do have a lot of people come in and they've got their list. You know, it's good to make a list of what you're looking for in a rental. Do you have a pet? Do you want 2-bedroom, 5-bathroom, swimming pool, pickleball? Be able to walk to the markets, or do you have a car? Do you want to have a golf cart or a bicycle?
So that's great. That's great advice. You're explaining to people they need to make a list before they come and say, "Oh, I want to rent a 2-bedroom apartment."
Yeah.
And it's smart to write down what you do like, what you don't like.
Right.
You might want to be, not next door to a Chinese restaurant or one of the weekend party places.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places over here that just have parties. Anybody can rent it for the weekend or for the night, and they can go from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to a nice quiet little party for a little 8-year-old girl till 6 o'clock, or they can start at noon on Sunday and go till Thursday.
Yes.
With mariachi and everything else and loud banda music.
Yes.
And so, but there are a lot of those sprinkled in that you wouldn't even know was there because it's behind a big wall or gate, unless you have an expert like you. So.
Thanks. And also people come in and I can see, they get the stress lines going right here. They got their list. They're unsure about things. I had a wise friend talk to me recently who said, if you can get 7 or 8 out of 10 on your wish list in a partner, in a relationship, in a city to live in an apartment, that's pretty good.
Okay.
So some people will get really worried, oh, it doesn't have this special kind of TV service I like. Oh, it's by the school. I don't know if that's going to be noisy. Oh, it's, go for it. If you got 7 or 8 on your list, you're just going to be there for 6 months. You might find a whole bunch of discoveries there that you weren't expecting. I'm by a school. I knew there were going to be bells by the chapel, and I knew there were going to be.
Well, you're by the church also. She's right, half a block from the church, and there's always something going on
and
there.
I get to hear the children singing in the morning as they go to school. So even if you think something's a negative, sometimes it can turn out to be a really joyous positive. So I would just say, kind of go with it, kind of loosen up a little bit, and if you can get 7 or 8 of the things on your list.
And what are the most important things you think someone should put on their list? Cost,
budget,
yes. Where they want to be, how many rooms, how many bathrooms, how far you are from the bus stop.
Yes, that's
or
a good
do
one
you have
to
a
ask.
parking place? Because many homes and apartments down here don't have anywhere to park a car. What do you think the top 10 would be?
Okay, top 10. Yeah, bedrooms and bathrooms. Budget, how much maybe a range that you're willing to spend. We haven't talked about this, the style of the place. We have a lot of really sleek, modern, even a real Zen kind of Eastern design building that we're renting in. Or maybe you're like, no, I came here for the Mexican culture.
Traditional Mexican.
The beautiful colors, the woodwork, whatever. Kind of the style that you like. Do you have pets?
That's very important.
Right. That is non-negotiable for those of us, right, who have little furry ones. Area. Quiet, or do you want to be in the fun zone, in the, where people are coming and going and you can really observe the culture on a more daily basis? What else do we talk about? Transportation.
Parking place or no parking place. Utilities.
Find out about the internet.
Some rental houses probably will pay all the utilities, or maybe none of the utilities, maybe cable, things like that.
Yeah, some are all inclusive and others, You pay for your usage of propane.
Maintenance fees. You might be in a gated area that has
right?
$500 or 500 pesos a month.
Yes.
Maintenance or not a homeowners, but if you're in a rental, sometimes you still have to pay that.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to pay it, the owner or you?
Right. We would always tell you if there are homeowners association fees. Often if there's a yard, there's a gardener who comes once every week or two that you can opt for, or say, no, we think we got it handled. Sometimes it comes with a housekeeper, someone who will come in and clean every week or two that you can have arranged. Some places have the filtered water that comes out of the kitchen sink. What's that called? A faucet? Yeah. Do you want to have a swimming pool? That's another great question.
They're a hell of a lot of work. I've had swimming pools.
Oops. Sometimes it's in an apartment and somebody else
taking care of it. Well,
yes.
as long as I'm not paying them.
Right. As long as I don't have to scrape the bottom, right? Yeah, just any particular thing. Sometimes you like a lot of sun. Maybe you're an artist and you want a real sunny place.
One thing that I find a lot of people want is the view, the vista.
The view.
Do you want the lake view?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the mountain view?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want just a flat house?
Yeah.
Where you just see your neighbors across the street? Or do you want to upstairs where you have a little party place on top where you can see the lake? You turn the other way, you see the mountains.
You were correct.
So I think that's important. And I know there's a lot of houses down here that have little like crow's nests built up on top.
Yes.
And some of them are big party areas on top of the houses. Most houses down here are flat roofed.
Yes.
And you can see the mountains. You see what kind of view do you want?
Right.
So I think that's very important.
You'll get a better view, as you said, if you're up on a second or third or higher floor.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people do not want stairs, for mobility issues or whatever. So they're going to say
there are a lot of
"Give me the
handicapped
ground
people
floor."
down here. Does it have a handicap ramp? Is it
Access.
wheelchair accessible?
Right.
So there's a lot of things. But the main thing, I guess we're going to sum it all up. Make your list. Don't exclude anything. I mean, you can have, I want to make sure the stairs are green and yellow and pink and orange. And we can probably find you a house, or we can change a house to make the stairs green and pink and yellow and orange.
Yeah.
Just be sure to make the list. And be sure to put everything that you can imagine. And then when you sit down with Catherine or anyone else, go over that list and say, I want to meet, the 7 out of 10. And then you can start looking at places. Now, you have a list of 3 or 4 places. You email somebody. You have a lot of pictures. And one thing I've seen her do, which is really, really fun for me, she does videos. I told you she's kind of an actress, or is an actress. And when she does her videos, they're really kind of fun. And she not only introduces herself and where she's at, but she shows you room by room.
Yeah.
And that's usually on YouTube or probably maybe even on your website. So that's a big tool that you can use and kind of have her show for you around the area before you don't ever step place in it. And you can say, oh, I didn't like that because of this, that, and the other, the pink, green, yellow, and orange steps. Or you say, I thought that was beautiful. That's my number 1 out of the 4 videos I watched.
Okay.
I want to go to that one.
Yeah. Even more people can get a jump start and just go to our website and take a look at all the rentals.
How many do you usually have? Is there an average? Sometimes you have 10 on there, or 20, or 30, or 3.
Yeah, it does vary. And I tell you what, now that it's getting to be spring and the snowbirds are leaving, we are adding new properties all the time. There might be 15 on there now, as a lot of people go back to Canada or the United States or wherever they're from. Now is a good time to rent, and prices
and
are
that's
sometimes
another important thing.
going
Is
down.
Are you seeing a wave to where, of course, I usually say it's from around Thanksgiving to Easter is the snowbird season.
Yes.
But if all of a sudden in Canada, Northeastern comes in, and Regina, Canada, all of a sudden in the middle of September, it's 25 below zero, they might start coming down earlier. And then sometimes it doesn't get that 25 below zero in Regina, Canada until mid-November. So there's a month or two that the people might not be coming down. But with remote working, we're seeing a lot more people coming year-round. And I think I've seen a lot of people, they call them sunbirds. that they
Yes.
live in Phoenix, they live in Houston, they live in Death Valley.
Right.
They're wanting to get out of that 120-degree temperature.
Yes.
They're wanting to come somewhere where it's 65 or 80 all the time.
Love it. Yes.
No humidity here. We're at about 5,200 foot altitude. People are coming more yearly
Yes.
and staying longer, or because they can work remotely.
Correct.
And so there's,
I thought that was really interesting too, to learn that the lakeside area has 2 seasons.
yeah,
The high season, as you said, from Thanksgiving to Easter, and then as parts of Texas and Florida and California and Arizona especially start heating up, we'll see another rise.
and there's a lot of younger people coming down here. I've noticed,
Yeah.
starting businesses or doing
Yes.
different type of work from their internet or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's a really, really great place to live. If you're not familiar with the Lake Chapala, Ahihi, it's kind of on the far west side is Hohotopec, and then on the far, I guess, east side would be San Nicolas out by the golf course. And you have price ranges, probably everything from $400 a month up to thousands of dollars a month.
Yes.
And so there's a lot going on down here, and someone like Catherine would be great to guide you through it.
Thank you,
Be sure to
Michael.
contact her. And she's learning.
I am.
You'll be learning. Like I said, 4
Yeah.
months, but she's learning all the time. And
One thing I've noticed, if you're moving from a humid place like Puerto Vallarta or maybe Florida to this community, it's a lot drier. You think, so what? You're going to need your lip balm. Chapped lips can be a thing. Your skin will be getting drier. You don't just need lotion. A good coconut oil can really help. My hair used to be curly. You can see it's straight now. My hairdresser told me this before I moved to Ahihi, and I thought, oh, that's ridiculous. Hair is hair. But as you can see, so yeah.
also, be
it's
sure if you're
fun.
moving down here from Canada and you're going to live here permanently, sell all your coats. Sell all your long pants, because it's very, very casual here. I've had a
Yes.
suit on maybe a half dozen times in 10 years. That's unfortunately for a funeral or for a happy occasion as a wedding. But it's
Yeah.
very, very laid back here.
Yes.
And
very accepting, very non-judgmental, and very welcoming.
and throw your watch
friendly.
away, because time means nothing down here. They eat breakfast around 10:30, and lunch around 3:30 or 4, and dinner usually around 9.
You got to get
10.
that siesta in there in the
And
afternoon.
it's something like that. But well, we've talked a lot
Very nice.
about your business, what you're doing work-wise. I'm tired of working right now. Let's talk about the fun things. Are you involved in any of the theaters, the charities, organizations? What have you found to keep yourself busy? And this is for people that are thinking about moving over here from other part of Mexico or from whatever. You've found other things besides work to keep you busy.
Yeah.
What are some of those things, and what are your fun things, and how hard has it been
Okay.
for you
Yeah.
to find out about events and calendars and things?
Well, fortunately, I'm not a shy person. I don't think you're
Oh,
a shy
I know
person
that.
either. So, I love karaoke. I have that Facebook page, PV Karaoke Lovers, and I hosted some karaoke nights around Vallarta. So yeah, I've gotten to make friends, who are also interested in singing and music and just being crazy and having fun at karaoke. I love dance. I've been carrying around my tap shoes all over Mexico, and I finally found a tap dance class that I can join that's within walking distance of my apartment. Yes.
Well, that sounds great.
The Lake Chapala Society has a great move to the beat class. It's kind of like Zumba. She throws in a little samba, a little salsa, a little kind of Broadway. That's been fun. So just being able to pursue my hobbies with other people. I got invited to join a cooking class. So yeah, when you're new, you do have to make new friends, but it's also a great opportunity to shop local businesses and to visit new places and find out what's going on. Maybe take up something new that you've always wanted to try.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made the move.
Thank you.
I hope
am
you're
too.
transitioning smoothly, and I think you are.
I think so. Yeah, it was a little daunting at first.
We went to the
Absolutely.
wine and what was that? A wine and chocolate festival.
Yeah,
one
wasn't
afternoon.
that great?
And it was fabulous because we got through the whole thing. It was about a half a mile. Got to see every single booth, and then what happened? started raining like heck. In the middle of non-rainy season,
Yes.
it started raining.
And the people with all the paper goods.
Oh, it was something. But that was a fun night.
Have you seen
Thank
the
you for
music
going to-
festival that's coming up on the
I saw
Beeghly
you
Melancholy?
advertising that,
Yeah.
so I doubt the show
Free.
will go before that. But
Okay.
I've had other people on the show, the Viarta, or not Viarta. Here I am back in Viarta. The Lake Chapala event calendar. I have a show with her, and you can find out all the kind of information you need to. And how about the dietary foods? Do you find it's quite a bit different here than it is in Puerto Vallarta, because in Puerto Vallarta you have so much seafood. But here it's pretty, and then a little bit different, traditional. Although we're in the state of Jalisco, both the city of Puerto Vallarta, the Bay of Banderas, and Lake Chapala area, all in the state of Jalisco, the cuisine's a little bit different. The food's different.
Yes.
Tacos are different, the way they make things. Not many fish tacos, more carne
Right.
or pork
Yes.
or cabrito.
Yeah, just within walking distance of the Ajijic areas in this downtown where I am. Yeah, there's lots of different restaurants I'm still discovering. The New York Deli I haven't been to yet. I'm within walking distance of 3 Thai restaurants, and Thai happens to be my favorite. So,
And she's right across
unexpected.
the street from an ice cream store, which
Yes,
that's what I need to
right.
find. I need to find me a house or an apartment right across from the ice cream store.
Yeah,
I'd
right.
lose all my money there. My ice cream bill would be more than my rent.
There's a Russian restaurant.
Yes, I've been there. The cabbage rolls are fabulous.
Isn't that good? Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and some other styles I can't even think of right now.
Well, we talked about a lot of stuff here. I want to say thank you very much
We
for the
have.
time. Is there anything in closing you want to say that I haven't asked you or that you haven't gotten to say?
Just thank you again for having me on. It's
You're
always
welcome.
such a pleasure, and I love how our friendship has moved from Vallarta here to the Chapala Lakeside area. And I remember too that you invited me to the University of Guadalajara Film Festival.
That's right. And I'm not exactly
Yeah.
sure when the dates are because they've
Okay.
had to change it a little bit.
You know, I love
trying
stuff
to get
like
the movie
that.
stars and stuff in. But definitely that, and over to Islahuacan for the July, we have our huge St. Santiago Festival for about a week, and then we have a huge festival that's called the Membrillos. Islahuacan de los Membrillos is the name of our little village, and it's basically like an apple, and they make about everything in the world you can make out of it. But it's a very, very
Yeah.
big festival. That's the first week of August.
There's that Membrillo restaurant too. And I had to look
the
up and
Japanese
translate
restaurant.
that word.
That's
Now I
good.
know. Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you for your time. Great
My
to see
pleasure,
you again.
Michael.
And
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, she's a spitting image of my sister-in-law. I have a sister-in-law named Agatha Nolen that lives. She's a
Agatha.
PhD and director of pharmaceutical medicine for the Hospital Corporation of America.
Oh, good. A smart
And
person.
they're almost twins.
Wow.
I got to show you a picture of her one day.
I would
When I
love
first saw her, I
that.
said, "Is that Agatha?" Catherine, thank you very much. I
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Once again, I want to say thank you very much for tuning in to Expat Conversation with Michael Nolen and Catherine on this episode. Please be sure to contact her, and if you need anything for rental or just want to talk to her about transitioning from one
Yeah.
part of Mexico to another.
Yeah.
She'd
just
be
wanna
glad to talk to
friends.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and again, thank you very much to Dr. Cortez and the Hotel Villa Monte Carlo for allowing us to do the show here. We'll see you on the next show.
Happy trail.